A king with unlimited wealth, access to the finest food in the ancient world, servants at his command, physicians at his side, and yet his arteries were slowly hardening. 3,000 years later, modern scans would reveal something no court physician could have predicted: calcified blood vessels, severe dental infections, signs of chronic inflammation. The rulers of the most powerful civilization of their time were not simply victims of war or political conspiracy. Some of them were victims of their own privilege. Under that same Egyptian sun, thousands of laborers hauled limestone blocks weighing several tons. Their hands were blistered, their backs were strained, their muscles ached at the end of every day. But their bodies were lean, conditioned, sustained by coarse bread, onions, garlic, lentils, and thick barley beer. One class consumed luxury, the other consumed survival, and survival may have been the healthier choice. Welcome to History Banana. Today, we are uncovering the pyramid builders' diet, why the poor were healthier than the pharaohs. This is the forgotten health divide of ancient Egypt, a story carved not in gold, but in bone. For decades, popular culture portrayed pyramid builders as starving slaves collapsing under whips. It is dramatic, it is cinematic, but it's not supported by modern archaeology. Excavations near the Giza Plateau have revealed entire workers' settlements, organized housing blocks, massive bakeries, brewing facilities capable of producing large quantities of beer, storage rooms filled with animal bones. These were not random prisoners thrown into chaos. Many of these men were likely seasonal laborers, farmers drafted into state service during the Nile flood season, when their agricultural work paused. Instead of tending fields underwater, they worked on royal construction projects, and they were fed systematically. The discovery of cattle bones is especially significant. Beef was expensive in ancient Egypt. Providing it to workers suggests planned nutritional support rather than minimal survival rations. Sheep and goat remains further confirm regular protein intake. Large communal bakeries reveal how seriously grain production was organized. Bread was not an afterthought, it was central. Egypt understood something essential. If you want a monument that lasts for millennia, you must maintain the strength of the men who build it. The foundation of the laborer's diet was wheat and barley. These grains were ground using stone tools and baked into dense, coarse loaves. Because grinding stones shed tiny particles into the flour, the bread was gritty. Over time, this caused heavy tooth wear, but nutritionally, this coarse bread retained bran and fiber. It digested slowly, released energy steadily, and helped regulate blood sugar levels. Beer, made from partially baked barley bread fermented in water, was a daily staple. It was thick, cloudy, and nourishing. Low in alcohol, but high in calories and B vitamins. It functioned as both hydration and food. In desert heat, it was essential. Vegetables played a major role. Onions, garlic, leeks, lentils, and chickpeas provided fiber, plant protein, and micronutrients. Dates and figs supplied natural sugars along with potassium and antioxidants. Fish from the Nile added additional protein. Meat, particularly beef, appears in archaeological records in quantities suggesting organized distribution. This was not a luxurious menu. It lacked refinement and variety, but it was practical, calorie-dense, and surprisingly balanced. High fiber, moderate protein, minimal refined sugar, constant physical exertion, the combination matters. Now, consider the elite. Pharaohs and high officials enjoyed finely sifted white bread, softer, lighter, and considered superior. The refining process removed much of the bran and fiber. Honey-sweetened cakes and pastries, fatty meats, and roasted birds graced elite tables. Wine, often imported, became a status symbol. Honey was widely used in upper-class cuisine. Though natural, it remains a concentrated sugar source. Regular high consumption can contribute to metabolic strain, especially when paired with limited physical activity. The royal lifestyle was structured around ceremony, governance, and administration. Pharaohs did not haul stone blocks. They presided over rituals, led symbolic hunts, and commanded armies. Their daily lives required authority, not endurance. Comfort insulated them from physical hardship, but comfort does not shield the body from consequence. Modern medical imaging has transformed how we understand ancient health. CT scans of royal mummies have identified arterial calcification, hardened arteries consistent with atherosclerosis. This condition is strongly associated today with diets high in saturated fats and sugars, combined with sedentary behavior. One of the most studied cases is Hatshepsut. Analysis of her remains suggests obesity and possible metabolic disease. Her reign was powerful and prosperous, but her body carried signs of internal strain. Another example is Ramesses II. His mummy reveals severe dental decay and advanced degenerative joint disease. Dental abscesses in particular would have been painful and potentially life-threatening without modern antibiotics. Multiple elite mummies show calcified arteries, indicating cardiovascular disease was not a modern invention. The evidence suggests that lifestyle diseases existed long before industrialization, especially among those with access to rich foods and reduced physical labor. Teeth are among the most revealing archaeological tools. Across ancient Egypt, heavy tooth wear was common due to grit and stone-ground flour. Workers' teeth were often worn flat from chewing coarse bread. But wear is not the same as decay. Elite remains frequently show more abscesses, infections caused by bacteria thriving on sugar and refined carbohydrates. The difference is subtle but important. Mechanical wear from coarse food reflects texture. Chemical decay reflects diet composition. Elite teeth suffered from sweetness. Workers' teeth suffered from grit. One indicates indulgence. The other indicates endurance. Physical labor strengthens the cardiovascular system. It improves insulin sensitivity. It stabilizes body weight. The pyramid builders lifted, pulled, pushed, and carried for hours daily. Their movement was not optional exercise. It was survival. Elite officials, by contrast, spent hours in administrative tasks or ceremonial settings. While not completely inactive, their daily movement was minimal compared to laborers. Modern medicine consistently demonstrates that prolonged sedentary lifestyles combined with high-calorie diets increase the risk of heart disease and metabolic disorders. Ancient Egypt may be one of the earliest documented examples of this pattern. Power removed hardship, but it also removed movement. Coarse bread preserved fiber, aiding digestion. Refined flour removed it. Ancient Egypt medical papyri contains numerous treatments for digestive issues. Laxatives and enemas were documented. There were even court officials tasked with overseeing aspects of royal bodily care. While the title may sound humorous today, it reflects something real. Digestive discomfort was common enough among elites to require structured management. Meanwhile, a fiber-rich diet paired with physical activity likely supported steadier gut health among laborers. The irony is difficult to ignore. Workers buried near Giza were interred with care. Some skeletons reveal healed fractures, indicating medical treatment and rest periods. This suggests the state invested in maintaining laborer health. Their bones show strong muscle attachments and dense skeletal structure from years of strain. Arthritis appears, but often as a result of aging rather than metabolic illness. They paid for their work with worn joints, but not necessarily with clogged arteries. Egyptian beer was thick and nourishing, providing calories and hydration necessary for desert labor. It contained nutrients produced during fermentation, making it more than a recreational drink. Wine, preferred by elites, symbolized sophistication, but greater alcohol intake combined with rich meals adds metabolic load. Beer sustained survival. Wine reinforced hierarchy. Pharaohs possessed gold, palaces, and divine authority. The workers possessed metabolic resilience shaped by necessity. Their lives were demanding and often painful. They endured injuries and exhaustion. Yet their diet of whole grains, vegetables, moderate protein, combined with relentless activity, may have shielded them from certain chronic diseases that afflicted their rulers. This does not mean they were free from suffering. Infectious disease, accidents, and environmental hazards were constant threats in the ancient world. But when we examine adult remains carefully, a pattern emerges. Elite bodies show cardiovascular strain strikingly familiar to modern societies. Laborers show physical wear, but fewer signs of lifestyle-related disease. The pyramids were designed to make kings immortal, yet the bodies of those kings reveal a human limitation that gold could not overcome. Privilege could command thousands of workers. It could raise monuments visible from space. It could secure a name in history for thousands of years, but it could not override biology. In ancient Egypt, wealth brought comfort and status, but it did not guarantee health. Power can carve stone into eternity, but it cannot negotiate with the human body. If you found this exploration revealing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us here on History Banana, where we look beyond the monuments and into the lives of the people who built them. Because sometimes the most important story isn't written in hieroglyphics, it's written in bone.